And we're writing here in the 1780s. You know, 150 years later, you have Hitler. So you figure you need another 50, 60 years to ameliorate this situation. They're just beginning to ameliorate this situation. Then, when that situation is being ameliorated in the mid-late 1800s, First World War then comes along in the early 1900s, and after that, you get the reaction blaming it all on these interloper people that don't belong there. And so the German collapse of the empire, the king, the Kaiser, and so on, it takes the form after World War I of this weird Nazism, a lower class movement really, which aims at blaming everything on the fact that there are Jews who have come in, and therefore they all must be exterminated. So it's really weird. We see, you can see already the seeds of it here. They didn't deal with this properly ever, and there wasn't enough time to eradicate not the Jews, but this kind of feeling that was widespread. So he says here, why did they do this? You know, why had they forbidden them to contribute to the general welfare? Should a number of industrious and law-abiding citizens be less useful to the state because they stem from Asia? Interesting, calls it Asia. And differ from the others by beard, circumcision, and in a special way transmitted to them from their ancient forefathers of worshiping the supreme God? This latter would certainly disqualify them from all rights of citizenship. This is the question that Mendelssohn is answering in Jerusalem. We're not a threat. Why not treat us as equals? That's what the whole essay Jerusalem is about. Give us citizenship. And justify these restrictive measures. If it contained principles which would keep the Jews from fulfilling the duties to the state, Mendelssohn is going to argue our religion does not keep us from fulfilling our duties to the state. How many have been reading Mendelssohn? That's what he's arguing. There's nothing in the Jewish religion against reason and so on. And they do. These are particular laws that we have to observe that concern us only, but they do not stop us from fulfilling our duties to the state. And I think he implies that if they did, the duties to the state would take preference. And so it's very interesting. But that's why Dome, you agree with me that Dome is really interesting, the fact that he sums it all up here? Hope you all were able to get a copy. You managed to copy that thing then? You guys worked it all out? Don't forget to give me my thing back, huh? He's got it. Don't you mark that now. What happened to him? He didn't get one? What happened? You didn't copy it or what?
Yeah, I copied it and then I gave it back to him.
You copied it?
Actually, someone went out and copied it.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That's great. Yeah, I mean, actually, the guy you can easily order it on the internet. There's no problem. It's just a matter if you want to pay a rush postage or not. You pay a rush postage, it's already like $8 or $9, isn't it? Whereas if you pay the normal postage, you can get it, but you don't know how long it's going to take to get to you. If you pay the $3.50 postage or something, it could take 2 weeks or something to get to. Anyway, this beard, circumcision, and so on is going to be a big deal even when the Nazis come. This latter would certainly disqualify them from full rights of citizenship and justify all restrictive measures. Someone said, you said in the class I was in earlier, substituting that some Muslim or some people in the room took offense at something I said, and so on and so forth. Today, in Islam, there could be practices that in fact disqualify someone from full rights of citizenship, but no one is going to apply them. No one even thinks like this anymore. I mean, as I said, if they are more loyal to the Prophet than they are to the Declaration of Independence or the Constitution, then that should be an impediment. I mean, when the chips are down, as we said before, Kennedy had to agree that the Constitution took precedence over the Catholic religion. And the same, I think, most Jews understand that too. They'll ask for whatever rights that they accorded them, but when the time comes, it's it's the Constitution of the United States, which is the new Torah, if you want to call it that. And the very fact of that Constitution is very much related to a kind of like Torah idea, divine legislation for the entire nation. A legislation, not a faith. It's interesting. So, but Islam is still, as we've been talking about to some degree occasionally, in the medieval mindset. It hasn't separated these things out in any effective way. Most Muslims have, but with the new aggressiveness and extremism, or whatever you want to, militancy is a better word. A lot of them are actually drawing back and leaning towards that to some extent, and they're more confused. 50 years ago, I don't think any Muslims in America would have been confused at all. They would have realized and thought that American Constitution law is the supreme thing. But now I think this zealotry, if you want to call it that, this militancy, makes them think twice. And according to Dohm, then that is a problem, in his view, in Europe in the 19th or 18th century, whatever you want to talk about. I don't think it's a problem for us here in America at the moment, or Europe. They haven't made a big issue of it, but I think it is going to be a problem, probably more in Europe than here. France is having riots and things in the suburbs where there are a lot of enclaves of different people of that kind of allegiance. And Germany has a fairly big problem in that regard. Holland had a person assassinated who, descendant of Van Gogh, who made a movie about women's rights with another woman who had come from, I think, East Africa. And they actually killed this guy on the street, stabbed him, put a note in his body, said that he'd offended the Koran or something like that, and thought that that was something that could be done. I mean, it shocked Holland totally. Holland is really in a state of shock regarding this and doesn't know what to do on these issues because of this extremism. I don't think the Jews behaved like that in Europe at all. They were very, I don't want to say, shuffling, but they were extremely...
Docile.
That's a good word. Docile is a good word. There's another word where you bow down a little bit, more than docile. Submissive, that's the word you want. Submissive. They were very submissive. And they were even up to the Holocaust. They were even submissive during the Holocaust. They just said, oh. If that's what has to be done. And so in a way, they were extremely Christian, if you consider Christianity to involve non-resistance to evil, turning the other cheek,